Thanks for tuning in to the KRVN Sports Podcast page, your home for all of the local broadcasts produced by KRVN Sports. This page and the playback is brought to you by Hoegemeyer Hybrids, raising the bar on yield performance. For KRVN Sports, I'm Jayson Jorgensen. The Loper wrestling team is ready to get back at it. They'll begin the season this weekend down in Arkansas. This week I had a chance to talk to head coach Dalton Jensen, and they're pretty excited to get the year underway.
Yeah, no, preseason is always an exciting time of year. Getting these guys, particularly your freshmen in and getting bought into the team culture and getting them training with your guys. And we had a couple big seniors graduate last year, and Billy Higgins and Nick James, who are both multiple-time All-Americans. So, now you look for some of these young guys to step up and fill those shoes. And, so far we've been very pleased. And, we compete, we train to go compete against other competition, but we'll have to wait another week for that. We'll just have to go beat each other up this weekend and then see how that unfolds. And then we'll look forward to going and competing in Arkansas the following week.
How have your veterans looked? Because you certainly have a really nice core of guys who finished strong last season.
Sure. We have 3 returning All-Americans, 2 of them juniors, that and Jackson Kinsella and Crew Howard. And then Zach Arata at 125 was a freshman last year, so sophomore this year. And, those 3 guys are kind of right now the backbone of this team and the guys that are proven. But I think we have 2 other returning national qualifiers at 2 of the other weights. And, the other 5 weights, we might see some new faces, but there's been a lot of talent and depth in our room over the last few years. So excited to see some of these guys step up and see how they fill these roles.
How about some of the newcomers you brought in? Who's kind of impressed you and who really needs to step up?
2 weights that I'm really looking forward to this year are 141 and 149. So, 149, we had a national qualifier last year, got injured, and John Berger can compete at the national championships. And then 141, Nick James, who was a national finalist for us. But we have 2 guys, 141, Joseph Arola, or Daniel DeRozier. Those 2 will hash it out this weekend. But, Joey's someone that was neck and neck with Nick James in the room last year, redshirted under him. And then, but someone that competes at a very high level and has been very successful, someone I think could step in and do really, really, really well right away. And then, 149, Brady Collins, redshirted last year. He'd beaten a couple, pinned an All-American at our Open, lost a very close match to the national finalists. So someone that's already right there is redshirt. Someone that I think, again, could step up and do something pretty special.
Dalton, one thing you have to like is, from listening to you here, you've got some guys who are pretty talented, kind of been waiting in the wings for their chance, and they should be pretty hungry.
No, for sure. I mean, at the college level, and I think probably recruits maybe don't understand or see this all the time, but I think they, you kind of project and think, oh, I want to look for an institution where I'm going to be a 4-year starter. And that's just, honestly, at the college level, it's just not as realistic. You don't see that a ton, other than maybe at the Division I level where you see some blue chippers, highly nationally ranked kids coming out of high school. But, for the most part, you're seeing kids that'll start for 2 or 3 years. And so some of it's just waiting under the wings of someone that's maybe more proven or having a little bit more success. And that's a good thing. We want where we have almost 2 All-American or at least national qualifier caliber guys per weight class. And those guys just kind of chip at each other and create that internal competition where, so that when it is that guy's turn to step up, he's ready to go. And so that's kind of been the philosophy of our recruiting. I think it's been a big part of our sustained success over the last couple of decades is our depth's always been strong. And we've had guys that, when one guy graduates, the next guy's ready to step in and do something.
Transfers have become such a big part of NCAA sports. Are you seeing that just as prevalent in the wrestling circles?
Sure. I mean, I think the Division I level is getting a little bit more cutthroat, where you're seeing it similar to football, basketball, where you're seeing a lot of maybe poaching going on and people coming in to fill certain puzzle pieces. But Division II level, I wouldn't say I've seen it necessarily any more than in previous years or pre-portal. But it's still, obviously, it's strong, and it accounts for a good chunk of the All-Americans every year in Division II, if not maybe even a couple of the national champs. So, it's obviously a game that you have to play or you're going to get caught behind. So you got to check that portal every once in a while. You got to kind of keep your ears open. And, part of it with us is, we recruited a high level at a high school and build relationships with these kids and kids that want to go chase that D1 dream. So we get told no a lot by seniors in high school, and they choose the Division I route. But things happen, and we always want to be I don't think a door should ever be shut on a kid. So if something didn't work out at the Division I level, we hope they remember their experience with the recruiting process here, and that this is a good institution, it's a good program, and it could be the right fit for them maybe a second time around.
And that was Loper wrestling coach Dalton Jensen. So the Lopers begin the regular season this upcoming Sunday in Little Rock, Arkansas. They will duel new MIAA member Ouachita Baptist and then Division I Arkansas Little Rock. For KRVN Sports, I'm Jayson Jorgensen.